Welcome to the College Football Prop Show presented by LineStar. I'm Shannon Sommerville with your top 4 college football prop bets for week 2. Week 1, we were 2-2 in our picks, so hoping to improve it this week to go a perfect 4-0 on our picks. Our picks are available on Underdog Fantasy, Sleeper, Chalkboard, Parlay Play. If you don't have those apps, download them. Use the promo code LineStar so you can get a nice deposit match plus 1 month free LineStar. Also, before we get into our picks, do me a huge favor. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the LineStar YouTube channel, and comment below. Let me know if you've got any locks for week 2 in college football. We've got a great slate of games, highlighted, of course, by that Texas-Michigan game. It should be a great one. I'm actually staying away from it from a prop betting perspective because I don't think there's a ton of leverage there. It's just going to be a very competitive atmosphere. There are some other game environments that I am targeting from a prop betting perspective that I will get into. And again, if you haven't already checked out the LineStar app, I'm using this tool that I will be referencing throughout the video called the Props AI tool. It's on the LineStar app. Basically what it does is it compares LineStar's projections to what's out there in all the different sports books. So it's a great tool to kind of help you navigate the prop market, which is exactly what we're doing here today. All right, let's start things off with one of my favorite game environments of the week. I'm talking about Alabama going up against USF. Now, this was a game that was way too close for comfort last year for Alabama, so I think Bama could be in for a little revenge in this one. But we're actually going to South Florida side of things here, and their quarterback, Byron Brown, over 202.5 pass plus rush yards. LineStar's projection is 308.2, the consensus projection 271.3. And Byron Brown was averaging 315.5 pass and rush yards per game last season and was over that 202.5 mark in all but one game. That one game was actually the Alabama game, the game that Alabama had their worst offensive showing. The final score was 17-3, while the Crimson Tide ended up winning that one. I think they could be out for a little revenge in this one, which I think the game total and the whole game environment is really kind of reflective of that, which I'll speak more to in just a second. But first, I want to give you this little trivia note. Byron Brown, one of only 2 quarterbacks to throw for 3,000 yards passing, rush for over 800. The other one, he won a Heisman, Jaden Daniels. And while I'm not necessarily comparing Byron Brown to Jaden Daniels, we are talking about a very talented dual threat quarterback. He's going to be playing up against Alabama, a team that is favored by 30.5 points in this one. The game total at 63.5, one of the highest of the weekend. So we're talking about a game environment that basically projects as a track meet. USF going to be playing from behind and relying on Byron Brown to be pushing things on offense. I like Byron Brown over 202.5 pass and rush yards. Next up, I'm going to the Tennessee Volunteers, who are taking on NC State and Charlotte, and we're rolling with the Vols running back Dylan Sampson over 68.5 rushing yards. LineStar's projection for Sampson's rushing total in this one is all the way at 98.4, which isn't too crazy considering he had 124 rushing yards last week against UT Chattanooga. This is an RB1 who will likely be the beneficiary of a lot of opposing defenses paying so much attention to the Tennessee quarterback, Nico Iamaleava, and that lethal air attack. And then going up against NC State, I think this is a good matchup. They did just lose their best defensive player, Peyton Wilson, to the NFL, and they returned just 2 starters from last season's D-line and linebackers group. They also just allowed the Catamounts last week to run for 120 yards and 6.3 yards per carry. Also, the Vols are 10-point road favorites. If they have the lead, they could just opt to run the ball, give to Sampson. So I like the over here for 68.5 for Dylan Sampson. Next up to my Georgia Bulldogs, who are riding a 40-game regular season win streak and are 53.5-point favorites against the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles in this one. For my prop bet, though, I'm going Carson Beck under 289.5 passing yards. Not because I don't think Carson Beck is a great quarterback, but because I just don't think he'll be in long enough to be able to accumulate 289.5 passing yards, a number he hasn't even gone over half of games last season, and last week 278 versus Clemson. So I just don't think he'll get there. I think the coaching staff is going to play this one very vanilla, very conservatively, and I don't think the starters are going to stay in any more than they have to. The following week, the Georgia Bulldogs have Kentucky in Lexington, a big SEC East showdown. So I think they're going to play this one close to the vest. I don't think Carson Beck is going to be in long enough to be able to rack up that amount of passing yards. So quite simply, we're just rolling with the under in this one. That's where the value is. Lastly, I've got another SEC quarterback passing yards fade situation. South Carolina freshman quarterback Lenoris Sellers under 205.5 pass plus rush yards. LineStar's projection for Sellers here is only 156.5. And he had just 182 last week versus Old Dominion. And that was actually a game they almost lost, if not for the Gamecocks defense that kind of kept him in the ball game. Also, Old Dominion kind of made mistakes that cost them the game. But when I looked at this offense, SC, their offensive line was getting worked. Receivers were dropping passes. Sellers was overthrowing his receivers. And now you're asking this freshman quarterback to go up against Kentucky in Lexington against a Wildcats team that held Southern Mississippi scoreless in their season opener. Yeah, I'm taking the under in this one. Those are my college football picks for week 2. Let me know if you are tailing or fading, or if you've got any other locks. Please drop them in the comments. We're all trying to help each other out and beat the books, so let's go win some money in college football this weekend. Good luck in all of your prop betting endeavors. If you haven't already, check out our NFL content, our MLB content. We've got tons of content coming out of the LineStar YouTube channel lately, so if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Good luck in all of your prop bets in NFL, college football, wherever your prop betting journey takes you. Good luck. We'll see you next time.